Hey everybody. I just felt the need to really share this with you all because I know that there are people out there struggling with some of the same things, but I just want to encourage you and to let you know that there is always a better. Recently, I made a decision that changed me, that changed my life. It was a decision to walk away from something that I had become so comfortable with. And I had avoided walking away for so long because I had grown comfortable in the situation. I had become, if we can be honest, complacent in the situation. And despite the concerns that I had, I felt it would be more difficult for me to leave as opposed to staying and just dealing and just putting up with the problem that I had. Until finally I really spoke to God. I really heard from God, and I knew that it was my time to go. If I can be honest, I was worried about how the image that I would put out to certain people by leaving, or what people would think about me, or the relationships that would change because of me deciding not to stick around out of convenience. And so I decided to leave, and today, I guess, was the first day that I broke down, because not out of feeling sad, it was an overwhelming feeling of joy. There have been people who've been asking me questions and things that have been said about my decision, but at the end of the day, the confirmation that I have deep inside of my heart, the feeling that I have in knowing that I made the right decision, it really doesn't matter what anybody else has to say or what anybody else feels about the situation or how they're now looking at me, because I know that I made the right decision. I know that the decision that I made was what God told me to do. And I just want to let you know that you may be going through a tough situation. You may be battling with something, and every single thing inside of you may be telling you that it's time for you to leave that situation or to leave that person, but you're afraid because it's something that you're used to. All you can do is give it a chance. And I guarantee you that despite the apprehension that you feel, despite how afraid you may be, if God really wants you to leave, then you will feel an overwhelming sense of peace and liberty, which will give you confirmation that you made the right decision. It doesn't matter how other people look at you. It gets hard. It gets hard to not worry about those things, but you cannot allow people to dictate you or to make you stick around because you're afraid of what they're going to think about you if you don't. If your heart, if God is telling you that it's time to transition into something else, then do it. Do it and trust that He has something greater in store for you. You don't have to do it out of strife. You don't have to do it out of anger, but do it because it's what you're supposed to do. If you stick around and you're not supposed to, you'll find yourself carrying a heavy burden that will only be lifted when you do what you're supposed to do. When you walk away, and to understand that walking away does not mean that you are giving up, but walking away demonstrates true love and knowing that in order to better yourself, in order to better others, sometimes it is a necessity to walk away. It's a hard lesson to learn. Something very, very difficult for me, but something that is necessary. If you're in a relationship, if you're in a place at work, any situation where you are absolutely sure that it is time for you to go, I pray right now with everything in me, with every breath in my body, that you step out on faith and move into the greater that God has in store for you. The longer you stick there when you're not supposed to, the longer it'll take you to get to where God has for you to go. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. We are winners. We are more than conquerors. We can do it. There's nothing too big for us, because there's nothing too big for God who dwells inside of us. I love you. I'm with you. My prayers are with you. And keep pushing.